Good morning.
It is.
Thank you. My question is about alignment and how to determine if you're out of alignment when you don't feel like you are. I've had a desire for many years to win the lottery. I feel like so often I am in alignment with that. I feel worthy of it. I'm very happy when I see other people that win.
Why do you want to win the lottery?
First, I want to be really rich.
Yes, we get that.
I want to be able to help other people, and I also think that it would be, well, two things. One is it would be a pretty incredible experience to have, and also sort of be able to prove to myself that I've had this desire, and now I've manifested this.
The thing that we want you to hear in this alignment that is necessary is that anytime you're trying to prove something, that means that there's plenty of stuff going on that's about the doubt of it. In other words, when you know something, you don't have to prove it. When you don't know it, then you're seeking proof about it. Mm-hmm. Have you ever noticed that? Mm-hmm. So by saying, I want this because I want to prove to myself and or others, then you've got two vibrations activated, what you want and the absence of it. Can you feel that? Mm-hmm. The best story that we have about this is a woman, her adult daughter wanted to buy a bed and breakfast kind of place. Mm-hmm. And she said to her mother, oh, mother, if we could make this happen, it would make up for all of the things in my life that didn't go the way I wanted them to. And her mother asked us, so is this something that I should try to make happen? Or is this something that is likely that will happen? And we say, it's so important to know that when something is on the verge of manifesting for you, it feels like the next logical step. So when something feels like way, 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 way bigger, or way, 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 way more important, or something that it will way, 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 way prove something, that's such an indication that there's a wide gap in the vibration between what you're asking for and how you feel on a regular basis.
So when something does feel like the next logical step, and in this case for me it does, it feels very comfortable. I have no problem visualizing. I feel really comfortable about it.
Well, we hear your words, but here's the thing. You see, you remember earlier when we said when you talk about what you want and why you want it. Mm-hmm. So what I want and why I want it is different than what I want and how it will come. So you want abundance, and you want a feeling of security, and you want such a feeling of security that you're able to offer it to others, to uplift others. Mm-hmm. But there's a big difference between saying I want it for those feelings and how it will come is through the lottery. Mm-hmm. In other words, how it will come, what do you know about the lottery? Are the odds really good that you will win?
Well, I heard somebody say one time it was 50-50, because either you're going to win or you're not. So I do feel like, yeah. And, you see all the people that are very normal, everyday people that have won, and it has dramatically changed their lives, and they must have somehow been in alignment with that.
Well, this is really worth talking about, especially on this subject of winning the lottery. If you have a very, very, very powerful desire, it almost doesn't matter what you believe if the desire is powerful enough. And what that means is, if your desire is strong, then that means it is dominantly active within you. And if it's dominantly active within you, then there's not much airtime, so to speak, for the doubts and worries part. When you really, 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 really want something, that desire goes a long way in lining you up for the receiving of it. And so it's possible. You see, what happens, and this is the thing that we so want you to hear, all of you, you have won the lottery because life has caused you. Every time you saw something you couldn't afford, you asked for more. Every time you saw something beautiful, you put it in your vibrational escrow. You have vibrationally amassed fortunes. We're not kidding you. So whether it comes through the lottery, or whether it comes through an idea, or whether it comes through a allowing of the universe to yield it to you in the infinite ways that are possible and lined up, is really not your work to figure out. And all we're saying to you is that the less time you try to spend figuring out how it's going to come, and the more time you find the vibrational essence of what it feels like, then in time you become such a vibrational match to a feeling of well-being that the universe will yield the abundance to you in infinite ways. And the thing that's odd about it is that an idea just lights up for you, and you look at it and you have this sensation of, but of course, there's no doubt or wonder. You just follow that and follow that and follow that and follow that. We think that the thing that is most wrong in your vibration here, and we don't mean wrong in the sense that it's wrong, we mean keeping you from having the more immediate manifestation that you're looking for, is in the same way that you don't say, well, I have the ability and the desire, so I think I will eat all of the food for the rest of my life today. Instead, you're happy to let it come incrementally. And we want you to relax with a sensation of this fortune that's coming to you and feel the perfection of the incremental way in which it is flowing to you. Because if you can breathe it in and out, sort of like you do oxygen, in and out, in and out, in and out, in and out, with an ever expanding increase in expectation of what flows in and what you will flow it out to, what begins to happen is you just begin to allow yourself to turn more fully in this fast moving stream. And when you get up to speed with that more faster moving stream, then those kinds of things like big wins can begin to pop in your experience. We want you to realize that there's a lot more in your vibrational escrow, and this is the part that we really want you to hear. Most of what we've been saying here has been for everyone. This is the specific piece that we are feeling from your vibration. And as you get this into alignment, you're going to notice a big difference in a lot of avenues of your life. As you've been banging around, you've put a veritable fortune in your vibrational escrow, but you've also put there wanting to understand the meaning of life, wanting to fulfill your reason for being, wanting to understand your guidance system, wanting to be in a place where you can be of the greatest advantage to yourself and others. In other words, there are a lot of people who win lotteries who don't find it to be the most positive experience. And we know that if you're standing in a place of not enough money, you can't even hear that. You say, oh, that's ridiculous. A big pile of money has to solve everything. And we say, a big pile of money is only part of what's in your vibrational escrow. There are other things like family dynamics. There are other things like being ready for it. In other words, there are people that are set upside down and all around with things that you all think would be the best thing that would ever happen to you. There are people that win the lottery who will tell you later, when they've lost it all in a very short period of time, that it wasn't the best thing that ever happened to them, that it was the worst thing that ever happened to them. So what we're getting at here is you have a lot of things in your vibrational escrow, and you can have it all. You can have the fortune, and you can have the fun, and you can have the alignment, but you're wanting to make sure that you are a vibrational match to everything that's there. And what we're saying to you is a feeling of, I want to win the lottery, but I'm not winning it, is keeping you from everything that's over there in your vibrational escrow. A feeling of, I'm doing extremely well. Do you know that being satisfied where I am and eager for more is the fastest path to winning the lottery or anything else that you want? Amplifying the well-being that you are already living will soothe you and put you into that place. You've heard us say that step 1 is ask, and life causes you to do that all day. Step 2 is source will answer. We've already explained that in a more dramatic way, as we say not only does source answer, source literally becomes what you're asking for and calls you toward it. Step 3 is you've got to become a vibrational match of what you're asking for. So there are a number of things that at your soul source level are out of whack, even in the little bit that you said about the lottery. When you say, I want to help others, there is a vibrational discord there that says, I'm going to open a vortex for abundance, and then I will allow that abundance to go to others, when the source within you wants to say, everyone has their own vortex, everyone has their own fortune, everyone has their own ability to create whatever they're wanting. When you say, I will help others, what you are, and we know it's, you don't want to hear us say helping others is not something at the source of you that is a vibrational alignment, but we are going to say it anyway. The source within you knows that others don't need your help if they are in alignment, and if they are not in alignment, there's not enough help that you can offer them to make it stick, you see. So what you're wanting to teach through the clarity of your example is alignment first and winning the lottery second. That's what your opening words to us. I want to talk about alignment. And we want to say to you, what that means is unconditional love, unconditional alignment means finding the thought that makes me feel the abundance even before the abundance comes. Tuning myself to the feeling of abundance, to the feeling of being of value, you see. Jerry and Esther were in Monterey, and they were stopped at a busy intersection, and there was one car ahead of them, and there was a man standing with a sign that said, hungry, please help. And the woman in the car in front of Jerry and Esther gave him 2 big, beautiful oranges. And as she drove away, he threw them at her car. And Esther said to Jerry, it would be a wonderful movement if we would all carry 2 extra oranges in our car at all times. And anytime someone says, I am hungry, give them 2 oranges. And in time, the hungry ones will stand there and wait for the oranges, and the ones that aren't really hungry won't be bothering us on all of the corners. And the reason that we bring this up is because there is such a huge imbalance. In other words, Esther remembers seeing Tracy purchasing her first beautiful car on her own. And she had asked Jerry and Esther to help her. And Jerry said to Esther, who really wanted to help her, Jerry said, let's let her figure this out. Because there's something so much sweeter about creating your own experience than waiting for someone else to help you out. And so Esther and Jerry said to Tracy, we think you can figure this out on your own, and we are so looking forward to watching the fun that you will have. Well, the first few days it wasn't very fun. Tracy was feeling quite a bit of resentment about it, because Jerry and Esther clearly could help her and wouldn't. And then Tracy sort of shook that off, and Esther began asking her about what she was looking for, and Tracy began describing the car that she wanted and really got on the hunt for it. It was a beautiful little red Acura. And then one day Tracy announced that she had found the car, and that it was at a price she could afford with the terms that she could easily achieve. And the only problem was it was in Houston, and Esther said, well, we're going there this weekend. We're having a seminar there. We'll take you over to get your new car. And when they followed her back to San Antonio, the 200 miles on the following day, Jerry said to Esther, is it my imagination, or is that car not touching the pavement? It was as if this silly car was levitating a foot at least above the roadway. It was remarkable. Esther could feel Tracy's heart singing from the car behind. And then Tracy came to work a few days later, and Esther could tell she had been crying. And Esther said, what is the matter? And Tracy said, I have this beautiful new car, and there is a man eating out of the dumpster at our apartment complex. And Esther said to Tracy, and Tracy said, it just feels so off that I have this beautiful car, and that man is eating out of the dumpster. And Esther said, if you did not have that car, do you think he would stop eating out of the dumpster? But what had happened, and what happens to so many of you, when you want something and you allow yourself to receive it, and then you see someone else who has not allowed themselves to receive it, even though the same abundance is available to everyone, then you want to take your action to make it different. And we want you to understand that whether it is you allowing the abundance in the proportion that you want, or whether it is someone who is allowing it through eating out of the dumpster, all of you are vibrational beings, and all of you have access to incredible abundance, and all of you have put fortunes in your vibrational escrow. And the way you uplift the world is by coming into alignment with that, not by taking some action and then offering some other action to compensate for some other action. You are vibrational beings. The way you feel is everything. Spend a month or so thinking about what you want and why you want it. And when you get to the very basis of why you want it, why do I want to win the lottery? I want to win the lottery because I want that feeling of security. I want that feeling of well-being. It will be evidence to me of my alignment with Source, which is what I'm really wanting. I want to win the lottery because in winning the lottery, I know that I will have to done the other things that are vibrational before that manifestation will happen. The lottery win will be my indication of my alignment. The reason I've chosen something big is because it will require alignment. It will require me to sort out how I really feel about money. It will require me to sort out how I feel about the economy, how I feel about my relationship with money, how I feel about the man who eats out of the dumpster's relationship with money. This is a very big topic for me, and I am forcing myself into alignment because alignment is what is necessary before that manifestation can occur. But it's not the manifestation of winning the lottery that I seek, it's my alignment that I seek. The manifestation of winning the lottery or any other number of things that will happen to me are my indication of alignment. And what we want you to understand is, before you win the lottery, your joy is an indication of alignment. Your appreciation is an indication of alignment. Your love is an indication of alignment. Your anger from rage is an indication of more alignment. Your less anger is an indication of more alignment. Your frustration is an indication of more alignment. Your hope is an indication of more alignment. Your wanting and believing is an indication of more alignment. You see what we're getting at? Let alignment be. We want you to sit here and say, I seek enlightenment. I seek alignment, which means I want to feel good rather than I want to win the lottery. I want to win the lottery as evidence of my alignment. Now that's what you said. Those are the words that you eventually were offering, and that is what you really want. We don't know anything that any of you want for any other reason that you believe you would feel better in the having of it. So when you discover that you can feel better even in the not having of it, now you've got the key to the having of everything. People say, run that by me again? So, I want it, but I don't have it. But I feel good even though I don't have it. So now I don't need it. Hear something going on there? I want it because I think I will feel better in having it. But I've made myself feel better even though I don't have it. So now I don't need it, and now it will come. We know it's irritating. People say, I want to be over there. We say, what's over there? I don't know. I'm over here. Well, what do you think it's like over there? I don't know. I've never been over there. I'm over here. Well, think about what it might be like over there. I can't. I'm not over there. I'm over here. I'm over here. I'm over here. I'm over here. And we say, until you can think about what it's like to be over there and find the vibrational essence of what it's like to be over there, you cannot be over there. And you say, but if I feel like I'm over there, even though I'm over here, then I don't really need to go over there, do I? And we say, can't help but go over there when you feel like you're over there. When you feel like you're over there, you're over there. And until you feel like you're over there, you're over here. Good time for a segment of refreshment.
Thank you very much.
We are complete.